and Jalen's 2013 NBA Preview.
Welcome to Bill and Jalen's NBA Preview. We are at number 11, our first team that conceivably could make the conference finals, the Memphis Grizzlies. They did it last year. A lot of things went right for them, including Russell Westbrook getting hurt, which, let's be honest, the real reason they made the conference finals. Fan base mindset for the Memphis Grizzlies. We picked a lot of retro clips for these second 15. The 70s, 80s clips are funny. I'm not proud of it, but I kept gravitating toward these.
Bill, it's our job to educate the fans.
Yeah,
if we're just
school.
showing them things that they can see if they flip the channel or that's on YouTube or Google, that's not uplifting the fan base mindset.
We could have shown you Justin Bieber and Katy Perry and all these people you know.
That's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. This is the mindset for the Grizzlies.
Yeah. One woman need. Bring them in.
Some phenomenal afros.
Yes.
It's the Commodores for anybody who's under 30.
And I think this is going to refer to their shooting.
You're getting really good at this. Oh, there he is.
There he is. Get him, T.A. Crazy glue.
Great and grind.
He back there next to Lionel Richie.
Yeah, the Commodores were so good that one of the most successful artists of all time was like backup trumpet guy in some of these songs.
And yes, he owns a whole block in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, this is
the one
true.
that has the Cheesecake Factory on it.
Yeah, he's very, very rich.
Right. No, he's wealthy.
He's so wealthy.
I'm rich. He's wealthy.
He's so wealthy that Magic thinks he's wealthy. The Grizzlies did not make the finals last year because nobody on their team could make an outside shot. And we would sit there in our set watching them play and watch guys leave Tony Allen open by 5 or 6 feet. Pondexter came in and actually made some shots. Tayshaun Prince couldn't make anything. And let's see what they did last summer, because I'm sure they must have addressed this, right?
They had to get some shooting.
Please tell me they got some shooters. Mike Miller? Oh, they added gluten. I didn't realize they added gluten. That's good. They changed coaches.
See, on paper, I like them obviously bringing back Tony Allen. He's one of the best perimeter lockdown defenders in the league. Crazy Glue. That's his nickname.
You like the Crazy Glue with the K, though, right?
With the K.
Yeah, that was a good nickname. By the way, I like Kufis, and I think he's going to give them points off the bench. I don't know why Denver didn't play him more. I thought he was their best center last year.
And Mike Miller, when healthy, he could knock him down with the best of them.
Yeah.
He's dealt with back injuries the last couple of years. So.
Well, you said his name correctly. Mike Miller when healthy.
Yes.
That's like his official full name now. But he wanted to go back there. He got amnestied by Miami. I don't think he can play 100 games. They need to make sure that he gives them 3 months in April, May, and June.
I like Jared Bayless. He's going to be an interesting player. I think he could be a contributor at the 1 or 2 off the bench for a contending team.
I like Bayless as well, but I thought he was a little overmatched in that San Antonio series. He was a little too involved.
Because he was the only one that could make a shot from the perimeter.
It was like they're actually relying on him to big plays.
It was like all of us. He's like, I'm not on the marquee. I'm not on the tickets.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm taking 10 shots.
I'm a supporting actor. What
in
are you
a
doing?
quarter.
Couple things about this team. They still have the Gasol-Zebo combo, which is great. Ed Davis, who really looked decent in Toronto last year, and then Lionel Hollins buried him. So they need 2 things here as I look at this team. One, Prince has to be better than he was last year.
Thoroughbred.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So they need Prince. They need Mike Miller. On paper, it looks great, but he's probably going to play 40 regular season games for them, and that's why I knocked him down the rankings, because all of a sudden now I'm relying on Pondexter, who came up big a couple times.
They have the best 4 or 5 combination, points, rebounds, and block shots, and I'm talking about Gasol, not Zebo, in the league.
Hold on, the YouTube commenters are disagreeing with you right now. I'm just watching them. Jalen's, they're actually the 3rd best.
So when you have those guys, you must have knockdown catching shooters on the perimeter, and they don't have that.
There was a couple guys out there that I thought they would have a chance to get. Darrell Wright was one of them. Portland signed Darrell Wright, and that would have been somebody that I would like in this team. There's a couple other dudes, too, but maybe they'll make a trade, James.
They had somebody, Wayne Ellington.
Well, they traded him
Cleveland.
that stupid tax thing, yeah.
Correct. That was a player that had a game for them where he made multiple threes.
Let's see what Zach Lowe says.
Get low.
Zach Lowe wonders, can this team work less hard to score, which ties into what we're talking about? It was such a struggle for them to get baskets in that San Antonio series. Zebo took a lot of heat. He didn't have a great series, but they were double-teaming him the entire time. And they were playing to his left hand, and they were just doing everything possible to just take him out.
One of the things that hurt post-up play in today's game One of the major things is actually the rules, that you could play boxes and elbows on defense and you could play half a man. So in theory, Zach can have the basketball on the post and have two men guarding him and another man half
Zach
man
Lowe?
digging. Zebo.
Oh,
He can have the ball on the left block conceivably, have a man ready to double on dribble, and have a third man digging down. So
right.
he's drawing 2.5 defenders.
2.5 is bad.
On one possession. If they don't have shooting, it compresses the floor.
Yep. Conley, he's not an all-star. He's not one of the best 4-point guards in the league, but he at least showed he could trade some punches with those guys. And then you talk about Zebo. He's at the point in his career where it could go like this any year if he's not staying in shape. So I'm interested. I haven't seen him yet. I want to know if he rededicated himself and he's in monster shape and all that stuff, because those big guys that with those slow feet-to-the-ground games, that can go fast.
Yeah, when you're playing a Groundhog Day type game. But I think in watching him in the playoffs last year, the thing that helped him is the development of Marc Gasol, because now the big 4 or 5 that's the best defender on the other team is going to have to guard him.
Yeah.
And the second thing that should help him is shooting. And they didn't add any. That's why their song is Just a Brick. How?
Unless they make a trade. Let's see what Kirk Goldsberry says. Wow, that's a lot of red for Marc Gasol. Monte Ellis feels really, really embarrassed right now.
And when I say ground and pound, I mean 2 players that could potentially score 20 points in a game, Zach and Mark, and neither one of them dunk.
Yep.
And that's why I'm going to the front of that rim. He has to find a way to get some reds in the front of that rim.
Would you rather have him or Dwight Howard?
Dwight Howard. There's been a lot of conversation about that.
Best center in the league stuff?
This is not a diss to Marc Gasol at all. Dwight Howard has been and is the best center in the game.
Who would you rather play
Everybody
with?
to say that, they just don't like Dwight. I would rather play with Dwight.
You'd rather play
at
Dwight
the park,
Howard?
at the YMCA, in the NBA, I'd rather play with Dwight Howard.
You like playing with Vince Carter, so I'm not surprised. I think Clairvoyant Bill needs to get involved. So Clairvoyant Bill spent some time in Memphis last year, watched some games, watched the Grizzlies up close. Had this sad feeling the entire time that the Grizzlies, this was their chance, this was their window. All these things broke. The Clippers fell apart. Westbrook got hurt. Derrick Rose was hurt.
Kobe was hurt.
Kobe got hurt.
David Lee was hurt.
They navigated all these different cool landmines. And now this San Antonio Spurs team, who everybody thought was too old, who looked vulnerable in Golden State, they had a chance. And then boom, they get swept. And Clairvoyant Bill thinks they might have missed their window. That was it for the Grizzlies. That was their chance. I'm worried that this team now is in this mode of you're not a contender, but you're right below that. You're well above average, but you're not a contender, so what are you? You're not paying the tax. You're going to win 48 games. What does that do for you?
What really baffles me for a team like this is you clearly know you need something else on the perimeter. Why not take a chance, and I don't know what type of shape he's in right now, but why not take a chance on a player like a Steven Jackson? He can shoot threes. He can defend his position. He fits attitude-wise and toughness-wise with that roster.
Oh, I don't think so.
That's the kind of player I would want to bring in if I was that team.
I think the problem is he couldn't make outside shots last year, though.
He wasn't playing last year.
Yeah, he wasn't playing enough. Maybe they felt like that ship has sailed. He wants your job, Jalen. He wants this to be Bill and Steven Jackson's NBA preview next year.
But those are the type of chances for a team that you feel like their window may be getting shut.
Right.
To roll the dice.
I agree.
He's out there.
Well, they rolled the dice with Mike Miller.
There's nothing too much we can say about Mike Miller because he's a 2-time champion and he knocked down big shots for the Miami Heat.
He looked broken down to me last year.
He was doing it as Kaiser Soze. Usual suspects. Out there limping.
Right.
You know what you're going to get from him. And before you know it, he lighting you up. And plus, he has a daughter named Jalen. We love Mike Miller.
Mike Miller has a daughter named Jalen?
Yes.
Oh, my God. I wipe tears from my eyes for that. All right, let's find out why the Triangle likes the Memphis Grizzlies. Because it's impossible not to love the Grizzlies. Look at this reunion. Actually, Mike Miller, I don't know if he ever played with Zebo, but it is going to be like one of those...
Reunited and it feels so good.
It does feel like they've gotten a roster together of very likable players. Even Tayshaun Prince, I've always liked him. Always seems like a good guy. Like, you could have dinner with Tayshaun Prince, it'd be fun.
Yep, but it's all about shooting for the Memphis Grizzlies. In particular, watch their three-point shooting. If they're not making a healthy number of threes on a nightly basis, it's just going to put so much pressure on their bigs. They're going to have to shoot over contest the entire game. And they're not the fastest team either, Bill. The one thing about playing big is sometimes you play slow. And they have not been able to get up and down in transition, and that's what hurt them against the Spurs.
Well, one thing they do have in their favor, Zach Randolph has the edge in Blake Griffin. It's time for the Zebo Blake Griffin I hate your photo essay. These two are like cats and dogs. I don't know what started it. Well, Blake probably, every time he plays Zebo, he thinks of this. Zebo saying, I'm going to kill you. Just stop it. Enough of you. Smell my armpit? Notice how in all these photos, Blake is getting the worst of it. He's choking him. Please help me!
CP3, help!
Help! Vinny! That's an elbow right to Blake's face. See, Blake made the mistake of coming in and forgetting that Zach. So actually, you don't come in on Zach like that. He doesn't like that.
Zebo can't jump over yellow pages. But when you get into his space, you're going to catch one in the grill.
It's like when you have those dogs that are in the backyard behind the fence. They're behind a fence for a reason. Don't climb over the fence and go pet the dog. Don't get in Zebo's face. And that's finally him just saying, I own Blake Griffin. I've had enough of this feud. My rule with these things is when two guys don't like each other, it's usually a card game or a woman.
This is a classic example of opposites attract. So I'm going to put on lenses for both players. If you're Zach Randolph, I've averaged 20 and 10 in this league. I've been an all-star in this league, but you guys don't show my highlights because I'm not jumping over cars.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you the #1 top dunk of the evening. I'm more like a Michelin man.
Yeah.
I'm effective around the basket, my little flip shots, my little runners. And plus, you're tough as nails. You can't like Blake Griffin because he represents the opposite of you. He's the kind of player that he can do one move, and we're talking about somebody being Mozgolfed. Or we're talking about how he jumped over Pau Gasol.
You're not Mozgoffing Zebo.
Correct. He'll take you out of the air.
He would kill you in the air if you try to do that.
Correct.
If you remember, in the last playoff game when the Grizzlies bounced the Clippers, they had that scrum on the ground, and Zebo was kind of rolling on top of him and couldn't decide whether he just wanted to beat him up or not. So he just kind of like ground him in the ground with his body like a wrestler. Oh!
Yes, indeed!
Oh, my God!
Yeah, get it, people! What they want. So going to Memphis and spending quality time there this year, it reminded me of what Detroit used to be in a lot of ways. Going in juke joints,
There's Gus's fried chicken
the
right there.
Jukebox, eating good food. The people were awesome and welcoming, and the season on that chicken is crazy.
I've never seen you happier. I've known you for a while now. Your first Gus fried chicken bite. That was the look on his face.
Is there a way we could get them to FedEx or some Gus's? It probably won't be as good as chicken.
The only place I've ever seen you wait on a line.
Yes. And they did not care.
Oh, look at that, Jalen.
We strolled up at Gus's.
Oh, that makes me so hungry.
And they didn't care
Yeah.
what network or who I played
People
for.
are asking for autographs. They didn't care.
I was standing in line just like everybody else. We love you, Jalen. We're happy to have you here. But you're 20th on the line. So what we do, I just played the jukebox.
We love it. We're going back. When you were in Memphis, so you didn't go out? You didn't really do anything?
We didn't have a chance to really go out.
You never went out at once?
Nah, that ain't out. That was broad daylight. That was during the day.
You were caught on Reddit. Why does your suit look like that? Why does it look like you had a rough night?
No, that's the happy hour suit look.
That's not 7 a.m. daylight?
No, that's clearly the happy hour suit look.
Who was that person with you?
Unknown.
All right, well, we're going to find out. When we do team number 10, we're going to find out who that person was. Yeah, I think you did a little champagne and companion without me. It's time for our 24-second prediction clock. The Grizzlies go. How are they going to do this year?
The Memphis Grizzlies are a team that had a couple of good runs, but I think they got surpassed by a couple of young teams, in particular the Golden State Warriors. I think those kind of teams have taken the leap and now are in the class of San Antonio and the Los Angeles Clippers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's all better teams when everybody's healthy than the Memphis Grizzlies.
I think they missed their window. The Memphis Grizzlies will be back on the Bill and Jalen's NBA preview. Number 10 coming up. Until then. Where's Tony?
There he is. Get up, T.A. Crazy glue.
Yeah, I'm shooting right to my bed. Just letting it all hang out.